The Chicago Bulls assigned Modest Buzelis and Julian Phillips down to the G League affiliate. And we're also going to be talking about the recent rumor that had Zion Williams linked to the Chicago Bulls. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and you have found yourself on another episode of Bulls Digest. And so today we are going to be looking at the most recent roster move for the Chicago Bulls, in which they assigned Modest Buzelis and Julian Phillips down to play for the Windy City Bulls. They played very well. We're going to be talking about that. And also, too, this is something that came out a couple of days ago, and it linked Zion Williams to the Chicago Bulls. And so we're going to be talking about that wild report here. And so let's go ahead and jump into this first part. And that is where the Chicago Bulls have sent down Modest Buzelis and Julian Phillips down to the Windy City Bulls. And so, like I said, they played pretty well today, even though it was in a losing effort. And so you see that Modest Buzelis had 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 blocks. I think that he looked pretty good out there as usual. And then also, too, Julian Phillips, he had 18 points and 12 rebounds. So both players looked very good. And so when I look at this, I'm saying, well, they have got to get some minutes, because right now you see that Julian Phillips is averaging 13.7 minutes a game. And then also, too, with Modest Buzelis, he's averaging 13.1 minutes a game. And I think that just the bottom line here is that the Chicago Bulls are still prioritizing winning, and I understand that. But this is important as well, and I've talked about this with the player development aspect. And so these guys need to get as much reps as possible. And don't get me wrong, I think that the best reps for each player is going to be in actual NBA action. I think that they need to get out there. They need to play some of these elite talents in the league and see what they can do in order to really develop. Because when we're talking about just the minutes and how they're dispersed, when you look at THT, he's playing 12.6 minutes a game. You have Torrey Craig, who's up to 12.6 minutes a game when he's in there. That's what he's averaging. And then Dalen Terry, he's averaging 13.8 minutes a game. And so, it's tough right now, especially when you're trying to still go out and win games. But I've said this before, you've still got to somehow prioritize developing young talent. And so Julian Phillips, this is his numbers on the year right now: 3.3 points a game, 31% from three, 1.4 rebounds a game. He's getting about 0.2 blocks a game, 0.3 steals a game, 0.4 assists a game. And my initial assessment of him is just that you can tell the athleticism is there. You can tell that also, too, he can lock in defensively. And I think he's gotten more confident as far as shooting the three-point shot. But much like Modest, I think that as you continue to put these guys out there, they're going to get comfortable, and I think that they're going to really find their niche. Because right now, I think that a lot of times they're out there, they're just running, they're just trying to make plays out there. Because I guarantee you, Billy Donovan doesn't draw up any kind of offense or anything to kind of utilize those players. I think that they're just trying to figure it out as they're out there. And with Modest Buzelis, I know that we're all wanting to see him play some more. 5.1 points a game, 2.7 rebounds a game, 0.5 in assists, zero point 0.8 in blocks, and 0.3 in steals. Even in the limited time that he's been out there, I think that he's done a great job. Excuse me. I think that when you look at what he's done as far as going out and playing defense right now, he leads the team in block shots. And right now, he is actually fourth in rookies as far as block shots. He's only behind Alex Sarr, Donovan Clegan, and then also, too, Yves Missi. And these guys are centers, and, they're getting more minutes than Modest Buzelis. And so I just think that Modest Buzelis has just shown us that every time that you put him out there, he continues to get better, and I'm just looking forward to seeing him play some more minutes there. So I wanted to go ahead now and shift focus and look at this Zion Williams situation. And so if you'd been looking here, I think just a couple days ago, there was the rumor that the Bulls were linked to Zion Williams and all this stuff like that. But if you go and check this out, it's actually an ESPN article. I think it's Bobby Marks is on there with Tim MacMahon, and they're actually talking about Zion Williams, and they're talking about his future in the league right now because they're trying to figure out, what's next for him, the hardest question in the NBA. So you can go check this out on on ESPN.com. And so within this article, they're talking about the contract, and then there's a portion there where they're talking about like a trade scenarios. And in this article, it's like GMs that are anonymous that are making like comments like, oh, okay, like one Eastern Conference GM said this, one GM said that. And so when they're saying this, it's not that they're saying, hey, the Bulls they've heard this. They're just saying like, hey, this is a potential deal that maybe a team like Chicago would do. And so it's not like the Bulls are linked there. It's just saying that they would do. And you're going to see that same GM would say that if it were me and I was running the Pelicans, I would not do the deal. But here's my thoughts on that with Zion Williams. And if it were true, if the Bulls were actually looking at Zion Williams, honestly, I would just say no on this deal. I would say no, you do not do this deal because there are just several things on Zion Williams that I'm just saying I'm not interested because first of all, in the first part of the article, they talk about the contract situation with Zion Williams. And, they talk about that this contract is maybe one of the more unique contracts in the league because with the way that it's kind of set up, the Pelicans have kind of protected themselves in the sense like from giving out some guaranteed money here. And then you'll see in this first portion that it says that if he missed more than 22 games in the 22-23 or the 23-24 season, then the rest of the next couple years would be non-guaranteed. And he missed 53 games within the first year of the contract in 2022 23. And so, after that, then now you see that there is non-guaranteed money on the table where it's 38.9, 41.5, 44.2. It's all non-guaranteed because of that. And then also, too, if you go down a little bit more in the article, it talks about just having to be at a certain fitness level and things like that. Like it's interesting. So make sure you go out there and check it out. And so I'm just saying no, because first and foremost, when you're talking about having to put a fitness level kind of things into a contract as a stipulation, that right there screams to me of just commitment. And so when you're talking about commitment, if you cannot commit to be into the best shape possible to be out there, for your profession, then I'm saying no. And so I know for all the narratives that have been out there with Zach LaVine and the whole injuries and stuff like that, I have never seen anything or read anything that suggests that Zach LaVine is not committed as a player to be in the tip-top shape that he needs to be in. And so I'm going to start there. And so that's why I would say no. That's number 1 point for me. And then next up, when it comes down to the injuries and things like that, the fact that he's missed, I've heard 39% in this article under the picture. I think it says 45%, but he's missed a lot of games. I think 190 games played out of 411 possible games. And so that right there, I just could not see the Chicago Bulls wanting to do that. But on the other hand, I can say this. I do see why you would want to maybe possibly entertain it because Zion Williams, when he does play, he is a franchise player. And to be honest with you, if you're going to win in the NBA, you have to have a franchise player, whether it's Steph Curry, whether it's LeBron James, Luka, Jason Tatum, whoever. You need a franchise player and you need to build off of those franchise players. And so the Chicago Bulls don't have a franchise player. And I get it, for the people that may be interested in it. And when he does play, right? Like he's pretty decent. I mean, because he's gone out there, he's actually increased his assist numbers from the first time that he came in the league from 2.1 all the way up to I think close to 5.3 assists a game. So it's actually gone up. And his rebounds have gone up too, from 6.3 all the way up to 8 rebounds a game. And then he's a career 24-point scorer as well. So he's come in the league and he is a very good scorer. But what another issue as to why I would say no too, and lastly, is just that I think personally for me with Zion Williams, I just don't think that he's really extended his game in his time in the league. Like right now, he is just mainly just a paint presence for the most part. And I just think with that athleticism, at some point, as the injuries kind of pile up, as you get older, you can't just continue to kind of go through people and kind of jump over them. Like you have to extend out your game. And that hasn't necessarily happened because right now he's a career 34.1% from three. And that, if you're looking at that right now, Monis is shooting 33. It's his first year in the league. And then also, too, when you look at just the fact that, as far as defensively and the rim protection, I think for his career, he's averaging zero point 0.6 blocks. I just talked about Modest Buzelis. He's averaging 0.8 in his first year, and he's not even playing major minutes like that. And so, to invest into that, you want to get somebody that's going to be a real rim protector and also be able to extend his offensive game right there, because you don't want a player that, you're going to be able to pretty much, kind of wall him up or whatever the case may be and force him to shoot jump shots and then just not necessarily be effective. And so I would say if this was really seriously something that the Chicago Bulls were thinking about, I just would not do it. I get the fact that it's the non-guarantee out there and you can go ahead and just cut ties and things like that. But I just wouldn't do that. And I just couldn't see the Pelicans actually doing that because the Pelicans, look, they've had various injuries this year. And it looks like the Pelicans are really headed towards a rebuild situation. If you get Zach LaVine over there, that doesn't scream rebuild to me. Because if you get Zach LaVine, his stuff is guaranteed. He also has a player option there. You're committed to that money. I think that that's more of a win now situation. And so it doesn't make sense for the Pelicans. It doesn't necessarily make sense for the Chicago Bulls. It's just my personal opinion. You guys let me know down below in the comments what you think about that Zion Williams, I don't know, trade rumor, whatever it is. Let me know what you guys think about that. And also, too, let me know what you think about Modest Buzelis and also, too, Julian Phillips and their play in the G League. And also, too, should they be getting some more minutes? Should the Chicago Bulls be prioritizing the younger players a little bit more? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And so I just want to thank everybody out there for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the content. It means a lot to us out there as we try to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of the NBA season. And so I just wanted to thank everybody once more and just let you know that 63.8% of you that watch are not subscribed. So make sure that you mash on that subscribe button. And look, even though the Chicago Bulls, in my opinion, they need to go ahead and prioritize the youth movement along with winning some games. And we're still trying to figure out a serious direction. As I always say, go Bulls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.